The planet Zithra burned under twin suns. Its red desert stretched for miles, scarred with craters and remnants of ancient wars. In the sky above, massive alien warships hovered like silent predators, casting long shadows over the barren land. From one of the command ships, Commander Lyra gazed down, her violet eyes sharp with confidence and amusement. Reports had reached her hours earlier. Human forces had been detected on Zithra's surface. Lyra scoffed as she read the intelligence logs. Humans? She hissed to herself, her voice a melodic mixture of scorn and curiosity. These fragile creatures, sending their warriors into the heart of my empire. How amusing. Her staff, a group of elite alien strategists, exchanged uneasy glances. Lyra's reputation for brilliance in battle was well known, but her arrogance was equally infamous. Commander, one of them ventured carefully, the humans are reporting some unusual combat tactics. They may be adaptive. Lyra tilted her head, a smile curling on her lips. Adaptive? They barely survive against small skirmishes on their homeworlds. Zithra is a different world entirely. They are not prepared for my forces. Below, in the harsh desert, a small group of humans crouched behind the wreckage of a scorched transport vehicle. Dust clung to their armor and faces, their breaths heavy and steady. Their leader, Captain Orion, scanned the horizon, his eyes sharp and calculating. Keep moving, Orion ordered softly. His voice was calm yet carried an unshakable authority. The enemy knows we are here. We cannot stay in one place for long. The squad nodded. They were tired, hungry, and vastly outnumbered, but there was no fear in their eyes, only determination. Every human knew that the odds were against them, but they also knew why they fought. Humanity had always survived in impossible conditions, and Zithra was no exception. In the sky, alien sensors flickered, tracking their movement. Lyra's fleet had already pinpointed their location. From her vantage point, she could see the humans moving across the scorched plains like ants, small and fragile. She laughed softly, a sound that carried both elegance and contempt. Prepare the plasma cannons, Lyra commanded. I want them gone before they even know what hit them. The aliens obeyed instantly, their ships descending with mechanical precision. Laser beams streaked across the sky, cutting through the desert air. Below, the humans scattered, diving behind craters and jagged rocks for cover. Stay low, Orion instructed. We need to reach the ridge. From there, we can regroup and plan our next move. A young human soldier, Private Lynn, peeked over a rock and whispered, Captain, those cannons, they're huge. How can we possibly survive this? Orion glanced at him, his expression calm. We survive because we must. Fear is useless. Focus on what you can do, not what you cannot. Lynn nodded, drawing courage from Orion's confidence. Together, the squad moved like shadows over the desert, using every piece of cover they could find. Despite the alien onslaught, they advanced steadily, relying on wit and agility instead of brute strength. Back aboard her command ship, Lyra's amusement turned to mild irritation. They are more clever than I expected, she admitted, her voice low. But cleverness cannot save them. Deploy the drones. From the fleet, sleek alien drones descended. Their metallic bodies gleamed in the harsh sunlight as they hovered, scanning the terrain for heat signatures. Each drone was armed with pulse blasters designed to vaporize anything in its path. On the ground, Orion noticed the glint of approaching drones. Drones, he muttered. They've sent more than I anticipated. Spread out. The humans leapt into action. One soldier rolled forward, launching a smoke grenade that erupted into a thick gray cloud. Another fired a compact energy net, ensnaring one of the smaller drones. Orion moved with precision, guiding his squad through the chaos, his every movement calculated to save lives while continuing their advance. Lyra watched through her viewing lenses as one human managed to disable a drone using only ingenuity and timing. A spark of irritation flickered in her mind. This is unexpected, she muttered. They are still alive. After all that firepower, the human squad finally reached the ridge. From there, they could see the alien fortifications in the distance. Orion scanned the structures with sharp eyes. We have to find a way through, he said, his voice steady. Our mission is not to fight every battle, but to reach the command post and gather the intelligence we need. Private Lynn, still catching his breath, asked, Captain, do you really think we can do this? Orion looked out over the alien stronghold. The towers were tall, bristling with weapons and heavily guarded. The odds were nearly impossible. but he smiled faintly. Humans survive because we adapt, because we find ways where others see none. Remember that. Every step forward is a victory. Far above, Lyra's amusement had shifted to curiosity. She leaned closer to her console, her eyes narrowing. "Captain Orion," she whispered to herself. "Who is this human that moves like a shadow and survives where others perish? Perhaps this one is different." Her advisors exchanged anxious glances. Lyra's fascination with a single human was unusual. Normally, she dismissed humanity entirely, but there was something about the human squad, something in their persistence and subtle coordination that drew her attention. Meanwhile, the human squad began setting up a temporary observation point on the ridge. Orion pulled out a compact device scanning the alien fortifications. He marked weak points, patrol patterns, and energy shield timings. Each detail was stored in his mind and shared with the squad. "Everyone," he said, "this is what we have. We do not need to destroy them all. We need to move smartly, strike swiftly, and leave no trace of our presence until the right moment. Humanity survives not by brute force, but by intelligence and courage." The squad nodded, their morale lifted by Orion's words. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, they felt purpose. Below, alien patrols shifted uneasily, sensing that the humans were more than ordinary prey. Lyra's drones reported anomalies, small patterns of movement that didn't match typical human behavior. Her interest deepened. "Send a scout drone closer," she ordered. "I want to see them clearly." The drone descended silently, its sensors scanning the ridge. Orion noticed the movement on the screen of his portable device. "They're watching us," he said. "Prepare for a potential encounter, but do not panic. Let them underestimate us." Lyra leaned forward, her sharp eyes catching every detail. For the first time, she felt the faintest twinge of respect or perhaps curiosity for these humans. They were daring, resilient, and unpredictable, but she dismissed it quickly. "Curiosity will not save them," she said, though the words sounded hollow even to her own ears. Night fell over Zithara's deserts. The twin suns dipped below the horizon, leaving a dark violet sky studded with stars. The temperature dropped, and the winds carried sharp sand that stung exposed skin. Yet, in this inhospitable night, the humans remained alert, huddled around small heat sources to keep warm. Orion stood on the ridge, looking out at the alien fortifications in the distance. His mind worked tirelessly, planning the next move. He knew that human ingenuity could overcome even the most advanced technology if used correctly. Every tactic, every small advantage mattered. "We survive," he said quietly, almost to himself, "because we must. Because humanity never gives up." Below, the alien warships watched silently, unaware that the humans had already begun to alter the battlefield. Lyra, for all her arrogance, did not yet realize that the mockery she had cast upon humanity would soon be tested by a warrior she could not predict. And far in the shadows of the desert, a signal pulsed, a strange, low-frequency energy signature. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, yet it carried a presence unlike anything Zithara had seen before. Lyra noticed it on her screens, her brow furrowing. "What is this?" she demanded. "Identify it immediately." Her advisors worked quickly, scanning and analyzing. "Commander, it is unlike anything in our records. It seemed intelligent, highly capable." Lyra's smile had vanished, replaced by a thoughtful frown. "Perhaps the humans are not as weak as we believed," she murmured. "Perhaps one of them is special." On the ridge, Orion felt the energy in the desert air. He did not yet know what it meant, only that it was a new variable in the game of survival. Whatever it was, he would face it with the same resolve that had carried humanity through centuries of impossible challenges. And somewhere above, in the command ship of Zithara, Lyra leaned closer to her console, her fascination growing. The shadow of doubt, tiny but persistent, began to creep into her mind. The battle for Zithara had begun. And in the vast, fiery desert, a single human warrior would soon rise in a way that no alien, no matter how powerful, could ignore. The desert of Zithara glowed faintly under the last rays of the twin suns, casting long, jagged shadows across the sand. The human squad moved quietly along the ridge, their figures small against the sprawling alien fortifications below. Each soldier's heart beat steadily, but there was a tension in the air. Every step could bring death, yet no one faltered. Humanity's warriors had learned to walk into danger with courage as their shield. Captain Orion paused at the crest of the ridge. His eyes swept across the alien structures, recording details, patrol paths, and weapon placements. "This is not just a fort," he murmured. "It's a fortress. But no fortress is unbreakable." Private Lynn glanced at him wide-eyed. "Captain!" "How can we get past all of that?" Orion's lips curved into a faint, confident smile. "We don't need to destroy everything, Lynn. We only need to strike where they are weakest, and that's where humans excel. Observation, patience, and speed. The aliens may be strong, but they are predictable." Below them, alien soldiers moved in formation, unaware of the humans above. Their armor glinted in the fading light, and their energy weapons hummed with readiness. Lyra watched from her command ship, her violet eyes narrowing. "The humans are still alive," she murmured. "And they are moving deliberately, not running like prey." A spark of intrigue flickered in her mind. She had underestimated these humans, yet they displayed a discipline and focus she had not expected. "Bring the scout drones closer," she commanded. "I want to see them clearly." Meanwhile, on the ridge, the human squad prepared to descend. Orion pointed to a narrow canyon that cut through the desert, leading closer to the alien defenses. "We move through here. Use the rocks for cover. Stay low, stay quiet." The squad obeyed, their movements precise and synchronized. Even in exhaustion, they were efficient, each step calculated. Their humanity, resilient, adaptive, and clever, was their greatest weapon. As they advanced, a sudden vibration in the ground drew Orion's attention. His brow furrowed. "Something's coming," he whispered. He raised a hand, signaling the squad to halt. From the shadows of a distant crater, a figure emerged. Orion's first thought was caution, yet the presence felt different, calm, measured, and powerful. The figure stepped forward, fully armored, carrying weapons that seemed advanced beyond human technology, yet adapted for agility. Private Lynn whispered, "Captain." "Who is that?" Orion's eyes narrowed. "We are about to find out." The figure moved with grace, each step deliberate, surveying the battlefield. Alien drones nearby seemed to hesitate, their sensors confused. Orion realized this was no ordinary human. This was someone exceptional, a warrior who could change the tide of battle. Lyra noticed it too. Her sensors captured the figure's every move, and a frown formed on her face. "Who is this human?" she demanded. "I want identification immediately." Her advisors scrambled, but the readings were inconsistent. This human did not fit any profile they had ever encountered. Lyra's curiosity turned into fascination and a hint of concern. On the ground, the figure approached the human squad. Orion recognized the aura of command, the subtle confidence that inspired respect without a word. The figure nodded once at Orion, a silent acknowledgement. Orion responded with a nod of his own. "I see why they call him the Unknown," he muttered. The unknown warrior acted swiftly. With precision, he disabled a group of alien patrol drones using only timing, agility, and a small handheld device. Sparks flew as the drones collapsed, confused and inoperative. Orion's squad watched in awe. "He's incredible," Private Lynn whispered. Orion's expression remained calm. "Stay focused. Watch, learn, and adapt. That's what humans do best." Lyra leaned closer to her console, her frown deepening. "Impossible," she said. "One human should not be able to move through our defenses like that." And yet he does. The unknown warrior joined Orion's squad silently. Without words, he assessed the terrain, calculated angles, and guided the humans toward the canyon. His movements were instinctive, yet his mind worked like a tactical computer. Orion finally spoke. "Who are you?" The unknown warrior gave a small, confident smile. "I'm here to ensure humans survive. That is enough for now." The squad exchanged glances, understanding the weight of his words. They were small in number, but with this warrior among them, the impossible seemed possible. Night fully descended over Zithera. The alien fortifications glowed with lights, but the desert was their ally. Shadows became cover, and the wind carried the humans' movement silently. Orion and the unknown warrior led the squad through treacherous terrain, avoiding patrols, traps, and scanning drones. Suddenly, a patrol of alien soldiers appeared, moving in a sweeping arc. The squad froze. The drones above hummed in detection mode. The unknown warrior acted instantly. With a precise throw of a small device, the patrol's sensors were blinded by a flash of light. The soldiers stumbled, confused. Orion's squad moved silently past them, unharmed. Lyra's eyes widened in disbelief. "How?" she whispered. She had expected humans to be weak, to panic under pressure. Instead, they moved like shadows, invisible and unstoppable. The squad reached a small plateau overlooking an energy barrier surrounding the alien fortifications. The barrier pulsed with a blue light, indicating high energy and near impenetrability. Orion studied it. "This is the main defense," he said quietly. "But it's not absolute. Every shield has a flaw. We just need to find it." The unknown warrior scanned the barrier with a compact device, revealing weak points in the energy grid. "Here," he said, pointing to a subtle shift in the energy pattern. "We can slip through without detection if we move carefully." Orion nodded. "Good. We strike at the right time and the enemy will not even know we are inside." As they prepared for the next move, a sudden rumble shook the plateau. Alien reinforcements approached faster than expected. The humans froze for a split second, calculating options. The unknown warrior stepped forward. His movements were calm, deliberate. With a swift motion, he activated a portable shield generator, deflecting incoming energy blasts. The humans followed his lead, using the cover to advance. Lyra's hands tightened around her console. "Deploy interceptors," she commanded. "Do not let them reach the barrier." But the humans moved too fast. Using the unknown warrior's guidance, they navigated the rocky terrain and reached the weak point in the energy barrier. A quick calculation, a silent adjustment, and the barrier's pulse was bypassed. They were inside the alien fortifications. Lyra stared at the screens, her frown deepening. "No, this cannot be happening," she muttered. "One human, one? And they are inside our defenses?" Orion led the squad through the interior, moving carefully to avoid patrols and surveillance systems. The unknown warrior's presence inspired them, making every soldier sharper, faster, and more confident. They were no longer just survivors, they were a force. Finally, they reached a vantage point overlooking the alien command center. Lights flickered inside the main tower. Guards patrolled the corridors and weapons hummed with readiness. The humans could see the scale of the challenge ahead, but Orion's voice cut through the tension. "This is what we fight for," he said. "Our people, our survival, our future. We are humans. We adapt, we endure, and we do not give up." The unknown warrior nodded. "Then let us remind them why humans are dangerous, even when they seem small, fragile, or outnumbered." Outside, the alien ships loomed, but their targets had already slipped from their reach. Lyra, still observing from above, felt an unfamiliar tension. The humans had crossed the first barrier with precision and courage. One human warrior, the unknown, had turned the battlefield into a place where prediction was impossible. Night stretched on Zithera, cool winds blowing across the desert. The human squad prepared for the next strike, guided by the unknown warrior and led by Orion's unwavering command. Every soldier understood that they were part of something greater, a test of human ingenuity, bravery, and resilience. Somewhere high above, Lyra's fingers tapped rapidly on her console. "Captain Orion," she murmured almost reluctantly, "you are more than I expected." "I will watch closely, very closely." In the darkness of Zithera, a new chapter was beginning. One human warrior had arrived, and with him, hope, strategy, and defiance. The battlefield, which had seemed certain to belong to the alien forces, was now a place of uncertainty, where humanity could shine brighter than even the twin suns above. And deep in the desert, the human squad moved silently, ready to show the galaxy that even the smallest forces could achieve the greatest victories when courage, skill, and determination were on their side. The interior of the alien fortress was cold and metallic, humming with the energy of countless weapons and surveillance systems. The walls pulsed faintly with light, reflecting the efficiency and discipline of the alien forces. Yet within this intimidating structure, Captain Orion and the unknown warrior moved like shadows, guiding the human squad with careful precision. Every step had to be deliberate. One mistake, one loud noise, and the patrols above could detect them. But the humans had adapted quickly to the fortress environment, learning from the unknown warrior's movements. Each soldier now carried confidence born of survival and trust in leadership. Orion paused at a junction, scanning the energy barriers and patrolling guards. "We need to split up," he whispered. "Some of us will distract the patrols. Others will move toward the control room. Timing is everything." Private Lynn swallowed hard but nodded. "I'll follow your lead, Captain." The unknown warrior stepped forward. Follow my movements. Watch my signals. Stay silent. Strike only when necessary. The squad split, moving through narrow corridors and maintenance shafts. Their footsteps were silent, their breaths controlled. Despite the overwhelming size of the fortress, they moved with purpose, blending into shadows and using the aliens' own technology against them. Above, in her observation room, Commander Lyra's patience was thinning. "Why are they still alive?" she asked, voice tight with frustration. "They should be at the mercy of my defenses." "Deploy interceptors and reinforcements," the alien soldiers responded with mechanical precision. But the humans were already evading every move. Orion had studied the patrol patterns, and the unknown warrior had noted every blind spot and delay in the alien sensors. Together, the humans moved like a single organism, coordinated, unpredictable, and deadly in their subtlety. Suddenly, an alarm sounded in one corridor. A small patrol had stumbled upon Private Lynn, who had frozen for a second too long. The soldiers' energy weapons powered up, threatening to reveal the squad's location. Orion's voice was calm but firm.
"Lynn, roll to the side, now!"
Lynn obeyed instantly, diving behind a support beam as the patrol passed. The unknown warrior moved with lightning speed, disabling the patrol silently using a compact energy net. Sparks flew, but no alarm sounded. Lyra's eyes narrowed. "They are learning faster than we anticipated," she said softly. "One human, one warrior, is leading them with extraordinary skill." In another corridor, Orion and the unknown warrior reached a control terminal. Its surface glowed with alien script, showing the inner workings of the fortress. "Here's our chance," Orion whispered. "We can disable the internal defenses and give the squad a clear path to the command center." The unknown warrior examined the terminal. "It is heavily encrypted," he said, "but not impossible. We can use timing, logic, and subtle misdirection to gain control." Minutes passed, each one feeling like hours. The hum of alien machinery filled the corridor. Yet Orion and the unknown warrior worked silently, bypassing energy locks and security protocols. With every bypassed system, the fortress became less of a trap and more of a battlefield that humans could navigate. Finally, the terminal unlocked the internal doors and lowered several energy barriers, allowing squads to advance safely. Orion signaled the other humans. "Move, the path is clear. Stay sharp." The human squads flowed through the corridors, taking positions near key intersections and communication nodes. Their movements were precise, each soldier now fully confident in their roles. The unknown warrior's presence elevated their abilities, transforming ordinary soldiers into efficient combatants. Lyra, watching from above, could hardly believe her sensors. "Impossible," she muttered. "They are coordinating with him, a single human." Her frustration turned to determination. "I will end this personally," she said, rising from her console. "I need to see this human warrior for myself." Descending from the observation room, Lyra entered the battlefield, her presence alone causing a ripple of tension. She moved gracefully, each step a display of lethal elegance, her violet eyes scanning for Captain Orion. In the command center's central atrium, Orion and the unknown warrior advanced with the squads, aware that Lyra would notice their intrusion soon. Energy beams traced across the corridors, security drones patrolled methodically. But the humans moved undeterred. Lyra appeared at the edge of the atrium, her ship hovering briefly above the ground before descending. Her voice echoed, commanding and sharp. "Captain Orion," she called. "You dare invade my fortress?" Orion stepped forward, calm and measured. "We do not invade," he said steadily. "We survive, and we fight when necessary." Lyra's lips curved in a mocking smile. "Survive? You call this survival? You are few, weak, and your technology is primitive." The unknown warrior stepped slightly forward, standing beside Orion. His presence radiated confidence. "Primitive? Perhaps," he said softly, "but humanity endures, and endurance is a power you cannot measure." Lyra's amusement flickered, replaced by irritation. "Bold words for creatures I can crush with a thought." Orion glanced at the unknown warrior and then at his squad. "Strength is not always measured by firepower," he said. "Strategy, courage, and adaptation can turn the tide even against the strongest opponent." The humans moved into position. Energy barriers and drone patrols became obstacles to navigate, not walls to stop them. Orion directed his squad with precision, using signals, timing, and coordinated diversions. Each human soldier now acted with the skill and confidence of a veteran. inspired by the unknown warrior's presence. Lyra, frustrated by the humans' progress, launched a targeted attack with her personal combat drone. Its energy blast streaked toward Orion and the squad. Yet the humans were ready. Using cover, agility, and quick reflexes, they dodged the fire while the unknown warrior disabled the drone with a precise strike to its core. The clash was not just physical, it was mental. Every move Orion made, every calculation of the unknown warrior, forced Lyra to adapt in real time. The humans were unpredictable, their creativity and courage challenging her assumptions about strength and control. One human squad managed to reach the communications hub, taking control of the alien network. Alarms blared across the fortress, but the humans moved efficiently, turning the alien technology against its creators. Lyra's frown deepened. "They are not just surviving, they are fighting on equal terms," she exclaimed. She stepped closer, her presence now commanding the attention of every soldier and drone. "Captain Orion," she said sharply, "come face me. Let us see if you truly deserve this victory." Orion glanced at the unknown warrior. The warrior's calm nod was all the encouragement he needed. Stepping forward, Orion faced Lyra directly in the central atrium. "You mocked humanity," Orion said firmly. "You called us weak, fragile, and insignificant. But strength is more than size and technology. Strength is courage, ingenuity, and the will to survive against impossible odds." Lyra's violet eyes narrowed. "Impressive words, but words cannot change reality." Orion lifted his head, unafraid. "No, actions change reality, and humanity acts when it must." The unknown warrior moved slightly, ready to intervene if necessary, yet confident in Orion's skill. Every soldier in Orion's squad felt a surge of inspiration. Their leader was fearless, and his belief in them was contagious. Lyra activated her personal energy shield and weapons, stepping forward. "Then let us see whose strength is true," she said. The clash began. Orion dodged precise energy blasts, using every reflex honed through training and battle experience. He struck with calculated precision, exploiting weaknesses in Lyra's defenses. The unknown warrior supported him silently, disabling traps, guiding squads, and creating opportunities. The humans' coordinated efforts began to shift the battlefield. Patrols fell back, energy defenses weakened, and the alien forces, once confident and disciplined, became disoriented. The fortress that had seemed invincible was now a stage for human ingenuity and courage. Lyra's respect for Orion grew, begrudging and cautious. She had mocked humanity, yet here they were, not merely surviving but challenging her directly. Every move they made was precise, effective, and inspired. Orion's voice carried through the atrium. "Humans are small, perhaps, but we endure, we adapt, and we fight. Do not underestimate us again." Lyra stepped back slightly, realizing that the humans had become more than mere soldiers. They were a force of will, intelligence, and resilience. For the first time, she felt the shadow of doubt. The unknown warrior smiled faintly, watching Orion inspire his team. "One human can change everything," he said quietly. "But together, they are unstoppable." As the battle raged within the alien fortress, the tide began to shift. The humans had taken control of key points, disabled defenses, and demonstrated a level of courage and skill that no alien had predicted. Lyra's empire faced a new reality. Humanity was not weak. Humanity could fight, adapt, and even overcome the most formidable adversaries. And above the battlefield, the twin suns of Zethera dipped lower, casting the fortress in a glow that reflected both destruction and the dawn of human triumph. The fortress of Zethera, once a symbol of alien strength and control, now trembled under the force of human ingenuity. Captain Orion and the unknown warrior had led their squad deep into the heart of the alien command center, navigating a labyrinth of corridors, energy barriers, and automated defenses. Each step had been calculated, every move deliberate, and now the humans were in position to strike decisively. Orion paused atop a ridge within the command center, surveying the sprawling alien operations below. From this vantage point, he could see the alien soldiers scrambling, reacting to the breaches his squad had created. Energy shields flickered and drones fell silent, their systems disrupted by the humans' clever maneuvers. "This is it," Orion whispered to the unknown warrior. "If we move correctly, we can cripple their defenses and gain control of the entire facility." The unknown warrior nodded, his eyes scanning the corridors. But we must remain precise. One misstep and their reinforcements could trap us. Orion turned to his squad, now fully confident and ready. Remember what I taught you: strategy, timing, and courage. Each of you is stronger than you realize. Humanity survives because we adapt, and today we will show that to everyone in this fortress. The humans split into small teams, each assigned to critical points in the command center. One squad disabled communication arrays, cutting off alerts to the distant alien fleet. Another group moved silently through hallways, neutralizing patrols and taking control of energy junctions. The unknown warrior led a special team alongside Orion, focusing on the main energy grid controlling the fortress's defenses. Above, Lyra watched the chaos unfold from her command platform. Her violet eyes narrowed as she realized the humans were no longer reacting. They were initiating. Each action was deliberate, coordinated, and effective. For the first time, she felt a twinge of doubt. They are controlling the battlefield, she said softly, almost in disbelief. One human, one captain, and they have turned my fortress against me. She activated her personal energy shield and prepared for direct engagement. The twin suns of Zathra reflected off her armor, casting long, shifting shadows across the command center. She would confront Orion herself if necessary, but first she needed to assess the full scope of human tactics. Within the corridors, Orion and the unknown warrior approached the energy core. Its massive interface pulsed with power, controlling barriers, turrets, and automated drones throughout the fortress. If they could seize it, the humans would have full control over the alien forces inside. Timing is critical, Orion said, his voice calm but focused. We disable the core, then pull back before reinforcements arrive. Quick strikes, precise moves. The unknown warrior adjusted a portable device scanning the energy patterns. The core's defenses are strong but predictable. We exploit the rhythm of its pulses and we gain control. With a nod, Orion led the squad forward. They moved like shadows, ducking under laser turrets, avoiding motion sensors, and neutralizing patrols with efficiency. Each soldier now acted as if the unknown warrior's presence had unlocked a hidden potential, guiding them through impossible terrain with confidence and skill. They reached the core. Orion placed his hands on the interface, analyzing the alien symbols and patterns. The unknown warrior stood beside him, offering guidance and insight. Together, they bypassed security protocols and initiated the override sequence. The fortress trembled as energy barriers flickered and collapsed. Automated drones powered down mid-flight, turrets ceased firing, and communication systems went dark. The humans had seized control, not through raw strength but through intelligence, coordination, and adaptability. Lyra's eyes widened in shock. No, this cannot be, she whispered. She activated her command interface, attempting to regain control, but the systems now answered to the humans' commands. Her forces were faltering, their efficiency shattered by strategy and courage. Orion signaled the squad. Hold positions. Reinforcements will arrive soon. But we are ready. Remember, humans endure. Humanity never gives up. As the humans prepared for the next phase, alien patrols moved hesitantly, unsure of who held the advantage. Confusion spread through the ranks like wildfire. What had been an organized, overwhelming force now struggled to maintain cohesion. Every human action was deliberate, every maneuver calculated to exploit weaknesses and maintain control. Lyra, now fully aware of the human's capability, descended from her command platform, her presence radiating authority. She moved gracefully through the atrium, her armor gleaming under the fortress lights. Every step was measured, every motion purposeful. Orion saw her and met her gaze without fear. Commander Lyra, he said firmly, your forces are strong, but humanity is relentless. We endure because we must, and we fight because we can. Lyra's violet eyes narrowed. Impressive words, human, she said, her voice laced with challenge. But words alone will not save you. You have disrupted my fortress, but I will not be defeated by mere courage. Orion glanced at the unknown warrior. The warrior's calm confidence was a silent reassurance. Strength is more than weapons and numbers, Orion said. It is the will to act, to adapt, and to survive against impossible odds. The clash began. Lyra unleashed her personal weapons, energy blasts arcing through the atrium. Orion and the unknown warrior dodged, countered, and led their squad in a coordinated response. Every move was precise, exploiting gaps in Lyra's attack while maintaining control of key points. The humans' ability to adapt quickly was astonishing. They used the environment to their advantage, ducking behind barriers, utilizing blind spots, and neutralizing drones and turrets with ingenuity. Every member of the squad acted as an extension of Orion's command, demonstrating resilience and courage that no alien algorithm could predict. Lyra's expression shifted from scorn to frustration. She had underestimated the humans, and now they were not only surviving, they were controlling the battlefield. Every strike, every maneuver reminded her that these humans were more than primitive creatures. They were a force capable of altering the course of the battle. Orion seized the moment. Squad, advance. Focus on the command consoles.
We gained full control now.
The humans moved with precision, securing energy grids, disabling automated defenses, and locking down patrol routes. The fortress that had once been impenetrable was now under human command, guided by strategy, courage, and adaptability. Lyra's frustration reached its peak. She realized that she could not rely on raw power alone. The humans had turned her fortress into a battlefield where intelligence, skill, and willpower mattered more than technology. For the first time, she felt the shadow of doubt. One human warrior, Captain Orion, had altered the course of events, and with him, the unknown warrior and his squad, humanity had proven that even the most advanced empire could be challenged. Orion looked out over the fortress, observing the disarray among alien forces. "This is just the beginning," he said quietly. "Humanity adapts, humanity survives, and we will not stop until victory is ours." The unknown warrior placed a hand on his shoulder. "Your leadership inspires them. Humans follow because they trust you, not because they are forced. That is why they endure." Outside the fortress, distant alien ships observed the chaos, unsure of the outcome. The humans had turned the tide, but the battle was far from over. Yet the momentum had shifted. The aliens no longer held certainty. They faced an unpredictable, adaptive force. Lyra retreated briefly to reassess her strategy. She realized that she could not simply crush humanity with firepower. Their ingenuity, courage, and determination were unlike anything she had faced. Respect, grudging, and careful began to replace her scorn. Orion's squad regrouped at the core, taking stock of their position. Every soldier knew they had achieved something remarkable. They had survived against overwhelming odds, turned the enemy's fortress against them, and demonstrated that humanity's greatest weapon was not technology alone, but courage, intelligence, and the will to endure. Orion addressed his squad. "You have done more than survive. You have shown the universe that humanity adapts, fights, and never gives up. But our mission is not complete. We must continue. We must ensure that Zithera, and anyone who underestimates humanity, understands what we are capable of." The unknown warrior nodded. "They will remember this day, and they will remember that one human can change the course of an entire battle." As night settled over Zithera, the fortress was quiet, yet alive with tension. The humans had taken control of key points, disabled defenses, and inspired their allies. The alien forces were regrouping, uncertain and cautious. Above, Lyra watched the battlefield, a mixture of admiration and frustration in her eyes. She had mocked humanity, yet now she had seen their true strength. One warrior had become a symbol, and humanity's ingenuity had turned the tide of battle. The desert winds carried the echoes of determination, courage, and resilience. Humanity had proven that no force, no matter how advanced or overwhelming, could ignore the power of adaptation, intelligence, and will. Captain Orion looked out over the fortress, his heart steady and focused. "The battle is ours to win," he said softly, "but it is humanity's courage that makes it possible." And deep within the fortress of Zithera, the humans prepared for the next strike, ready to finish what they had begun and show the galaxy that the resilience of humanity could not be mocked. The heart of Zithera's alien fortress pulsed with energy, but the balance of power had shifted. Captain Orion and the unknown warrior had turned the alien stronghold into a controlled battlefield, with their squads positioned at critical points, ready to strike. The corridors were quiet now, except for the hum of energy systems under human control. Orion stood at the central atrium, the glow from the energy core illuminating his determined face. He glanced at the unknown warrior, who gave a subtle nod. Together they had taken the fortress far deeper than anyone thought possible. Yet the final challenge loomed above them, Commander Lyra herself. Lyra appeared in the atrium moments later, descending with grace and precision. Her violet eyes glinted with fury and curiosity, and her armor reflected the pulsating lights around her. The humans had disrupted her perfect fortress, challenged her forces, and even disabled her advanced defenses. Yet she remained composed, ready to face the human who had become the symbol of their resistance. "Captain Orion," Lyra said, her voice echoing through the atrium, "you have done the impossible, disrupted my fortress, evaded my forces, and turned my own systems against me. But this ends now." Orion stepped forward unflinching. "This ends when humanity proves its strength," he said calmly. "You mocked us. You thought we were weak, but today we show that even the smallest force can endure, adapt, and triumph." The unknown warrior positioned himself slightly behind Orion, silently ready to assist. Together, the two human warriors represented both ingenuity and courage, a combination the aliens could not predict or match easily. Lyra's hands moved swiftly, activating her energy blades and shield simultaneously. A sharp hum filled the air, and the space around her shimmered with concentrated power. "Let us see if words and courage are enough to survive my strength," she said. Orion's mind raced. He had faced countless threats, but Lyra was unlike any opponent he had encountered, powerful, precise, and intelligent. Yet he trusted in human ingenuity and in the unknown warrior by his side. "Stay focused," he whispered to the squad. "Observe, adapt, and act. Humanity endures." The first strike came swiftly. Lyra lunged, her energy blades slicing through the air toward Orion. He dodged with agility, rolling and moving with precision. The unknown warrior intercepted another strike, deflecting it with a compact energy shield. Sparks erupted as alien energy met human technology and skill. Orion retaliated, using a combination of speed, strategy, and leverage to strike at Lyra's weak points. Each movement was deliberate, exploiting the tiniest gaps in her defense. The unknown warrior provided cover, neutralizing drones and automated defenses that might interfere. Lyra's eyes narrowed. "Impressive," she said, almost aloud to herself. "But one human cannot win against me. Not alone." Orion glanced at her, steady and unwavering. "I am not alone," he said. "Humanity fights with me." At that moment, the squads under Orion's command acted in perfect synchronization. Humans from multiple positions disabled energy turrets, redirected automated defenses, and cut off reinforcements. Each action demonstrated the brilliance of strategy, timing, and teamwork. The fortress, once invincible, was crumbling under the coordinated efforts of humans who refused to yield. Lyra activated her personal shield in full, deflecting Orion's next strike. "You are clever," she admitted, "but cleverness alone will not defeat me." Orion smiled faintly. "Cleverness, courage, and determination together can overcome anything." With precise timing, he moved past her defenses, striking at the control interfaces of her energy weapons. Sparks flew, systems failed, and the once powerful alien defenses faltered. Lyra's expression shifted from confidence to frustration. She had underestimated the humans, their ingenuity, and their unwavering will. The unknown warrior engaged her briefly, distracting her while Orion continued his calculated attacks. Each strike was a combination of strategy and instinct. They were not fighting to destroy for the sake of violence. They were fighting to survive, to protect humanity, and to prove that resilience could overcome even the most advanced technology. Around the atrium, human squads moved decisively. They neutralized remaining patrols, secured key control points, and maintained order despite the chaos of battle. Every soldier knew their role and trusted in Orion's leadership. Human courage had become a force as precise and powerful as any weapon Lyra could wield. Lyra realized slowly that brute strength was not enough. Humanity's strength was not measured in technology or numbers. It was measured in ingenuity, courage, and the ability to act decisively under pressure. For the first time, she saw humans as more than fragile creatures. They were warriors capable of inspiring fear and respect. "You are stronger than I imagined," Lyra said quietly, her voice losing some of its previous arrogance. "Humans, remarkable creatures." Orion stood tall, panting slightly from the intensity of the duel. "We are humanity," he said. "We adapt, we endure, and we fight. That is what makes us formidable." The unknown warrior moved beside him, surveying the atrium and ensuring that no surprises remained. Together, they symbolized human adaptability and strategic brilliance, showing that even against overwhelming odds, determination and intelligence could triumph. With a final, coordinated move, Orion disabled the last energy barriers, neutralizing the remaining alien defenses in the atrium. Lyra's forces faltered, their coordination shattered by the humans' clever strategies. The fortress, once a place of absolute control, was now under human command. Lyra stepped back, lowering her weapon slightly. "I underestimated you," she admitted, her voice softer now. "One human, and your people. You are more than I expected." Orion nodded respectfully. "We are not just one human. We are humanity, and we will always fight to survive, to protect, and to endure." The atrium fell silent for a moment, the only sounds being the hum of the fortress machinery and the distant winds of Zithara's deserts. The humans had achieved the impossible. They had turned the alien stronghold against its own forces, faced the commander herself, and emerged victorious without unnecessary destruction. Lyra studied Orion and the unknown warrior, a mixture of respect, frustration, and awe in her violet eyes. "You have changed my perception," she said finally. "Perhaps humanity is not to be mocked, nor underestimated." Orion nodded. "Respect is earned through action, not words. Today we showed that humans endure, adapt, and triumph when it matters most." The squads regrouped, tending to minor injuries and securing the atrium. Every soldier understood that they had achieved something extraordinary. The fortress was no longer a place of fear for them. It was a testament to human ingenuity, courage, and teamwork. Outside, the twin suns dipped below the horizon, casting Zithara in deep violet and crimson light. The fortress stood, but its balance of power had shifted irreversibly. Humanity had proven its strength, not by overwhelming force alone, but by intelligence, strategy, and the unwavering will to survive. Orion and the unknown warrior stood together, overlooking the battlefield. "This victory is not just ours," Orion said quietly. "It belongs to all of humanity. We endure, we adapt, and we inspire. That is what makes us powerful." The unknown warrior nodded, a faint smile on his face. "And they will remember this day. One human can change a battle, but a united humanity can change the course of history." Lyra, watching from a distance, finally acknowledged the truth she had resisted. Humanity was formidable. Their courage, adaptability, and ingenuity could not be ignored. She withdrew, her mind already considering what lessons she had learned from this confrontation. Respect had replaced mockery, and caution had replaced arrogance. In the deserts of Zithara, the winds carried the echoes of human triumph. The squads moved with purpose, confident in their survival and their victory. Captain Orion had led them through impossible odds, and the unknown warrior had shown that even the most advanced challenges could be met with skill and courage. And so, humanity had proven itself on Zithara, not as fragile creatures to be mocked, but as warriors capable of endurance, ingenuity, and triumph. One human had become a symbol, and together, they had shown the galaxy that courage, intelligence, and determination could overcome even the most formidable adversaries. The battle was over, but the story of humanity's resilience would echo across the stars, reminding every civilization that underestimated them that humans were not to be mocked. They endured, they adapted, and they triumphed. Captain Orion looked to the horizon, the twin suns setting behind him. "We fight not just for ourselves," he said softly. "We fight for humanity, and humanity never gives up." The unknown warrior stood silently beside him, watching as the human squads organized and prepared for the next stage of their journey. Together they had achieved the impossible, and together they had proven that the spirit of humanity could conquer even the most impossible challenges. The fortress of Zithara had fallen, not through fear, not through numbers, but through the courage, intelligence, and indomitable will of humans. And somewhere deep in the galaxy, civilizations would take notice. Humanity had arrived, and they would never be mocked again.